Hey, sleepyhead.
Oh, excuse me, what are you doing up so early? Couldn't you get any sleep?
Yeah, I was out like a light. I just woke up.
Oh, how are you feeling?
Okay, I guess. At least I got to sleep in the bed. You look like something that the cat just drug in.
Oh, well, thank you. That's what I need first thing in the morning, some insults. Guess you are feeling better. Speaking of which, how about looking at a few of these get well cards? The kids at the center are really worried about you, and they sent these in here yesterday.
Marty, look, it's been a while since I had that operation, right? And, I still don't have any feeling in my legs. I want you to tell me what's going on.
So, which is it, Mr. Thornhart? Are you an early bird today or a night owl? Hmm? I was just opening when you came in.
I've been up all night, you guessed it. Couldn't sleep. But I feel more like an owl that's been stuffed and is moaning away in somebody's attic.
Oh.
And coffee is the only thing in the world that'll bring me back to life.
Well, I really think you should have something to eat.
No, thanks, I'm not hungry. Thank you.
Okay. But if you change your mind, just let me know. Patrick? Oh, I was going to say good to see you, but you look like death on a soda cracker.
Thanks, nice to see you, Miss Maggie.
You want to talk about it?
Hey, Andy.
I thought you were opening at the diner. I didn't expect to see you.
Mommy said she would open it up. I was on my way over, but... What's going on? Why are you packing a bag?
No, I'm sorry. I didn't realize it was so early.
No, come on in.
Look, I can come back later.
No, come on in. I was up anyway. Bo was, he's been working on a case all night. And I'm glad you're here. How's Sheila?
She's all right. There were no complications from the miscarriage. Emotionally, I'm not too sure.
I'm so sorry, Hank. I just heard about it last night. I was going to go see her today.
Yeah, you know, everything seems to happen all at once, huh? Any word on Rachel?
No. No, not yet. I mean, Drew was going out with her last night, and then he said that he would call as soon as he got home, but he never did. So I've been wearing a hole in the carpet ever since, waiting for the phone to ring.
You called the hotel in New York?
Yeah, I did. And Drew's not in the room, or he doesn't answer. I mean, neither does RJ, for that matter.
Man, Nora, I hate this. I mean, Rachel is missing. Drew, he goes after her, and then he disappears, too.
Well, I figured they probably went someplace, you know, some after-hours club or something downtown, and he would have wanted to call, but he couldn't use a payphone without making Rachel suspicious, so...
RJ not being home, that's no big deal. What do you think, nobody got any sleep last night on the whole East Coast?
Do you want some coffee? Unless I'm out. I haven't been shopping in God knows how long.
No, thanks. Look, the last thing I need is caffeine.
All right, Hank, what's going on here? I mean, I understand you're being upset about Rachel, but this is something more. Is Sheila okay? Because if she's not, please tell me. Is she getting out of the hospital? When? When is she getting out of the hospital?
Doctor says she can come home today.
Well, that's good.
Except she doesn't want to come home. She's leaving me.
Oh, Hank.
You're moving out?
I'm sorry. I thought you'd be down at the diner. I didn't want to disturb you.
And you didn't think it would disturb me if I came home and found you were gone?
I know this hurts you. It hurts me, too.
So that's why you're leaving me.
That's right. Because I can't do this. I can't be with you if you're going to continue playing these games with Carlo Hesser. You're going to end up hurt or in jail, and it's going to tear me apart like it did last time.
I told you it was different. And I told you I was through with Carlo.
Then how come yesterday when he called, you just dropped everything and ran over there?
I admire Detective Harrison. She's attractive, intelligent, and since she's your inamorata, I thought you might be able to rein her in a little for me.
Can you promise me that this isn't going to keep happening? That's what I thought. I'm going to go to the hospital and see Dylan. And later when you're not around, I'll come back and talk about it.
Wow. I guess it's pretty bad if you can't even answer me.
No, I'm not trying to hide anything from you. It's just, it's complicated.
Seems pretty simple to me. I mean, I can't move my legs, and I want to know why.
Well, you suffered a traumatic injury to your spinal cord, and you just came through major surgery, so...
Yes, and ever since that major surgery, I've been immobilized here. Now, there should be time enough to heal all of this, right?
Well, I'm sure that's started, but I mean, people recover at all different rates.
Oh, Marty, there you are. Could I speak to you for a moment, please?
Listen, why don't you talk to me? I mean, I'm the one that just went through this. Anything you have to say to her, you can...
Will be medical gobbledygook. How about I fill her in and then she can translate, okay?
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Listen, go ahead, take your time. I don't think Dylan's ever seen my hand shadow puppets. Have you? Flipper?
Marty,
You don't like
please
fish?
don't leave me with him, bud.
It's a mammal, actually.
I'm having trouble lying to him.
I understand. Unfortunately, Marty, nothing has changed since the surgery. The fact that Dylan is still paralyzed could mean that the spinal shock is not resolved. At this point, we still don't know what the outcome could be. I mean, things could improve once the swelling around his spinal cord goes down or if the remaining bone chip moves.
And if neither of those things happens...
Then we have a pretty big problem. It means the remaining bone chip is compressing the cord. And there's just too much risk of severing the spinal cord for us to try to remove it.
Dylan never walks again?
Didn't we teach you in med school that doctors never say never? I mean, the part that we can control, the science, that only goes so far. And then there are other things that kick in. Mysterious things, like faith and love. Dylan has to try to want to get better. And then you're going to have to help him with the struggle. Dr. Robbins to X-ray. Dr. Robbins to X-ray. This might tell us more. I'll be back as soon as I can.
You should eat.
Why do women think that food is the answer for everything?
Well, it works for me.
Okay, no food, no lousy jokes. Is there anything I can get for you? Would it be safe of me to assume that this has something to do with Marty? I heard about what happened with Dylan.
Well, you don't know the half of it.
Would you like to tell me the other half? I promised not to blab. I'm leaving on the next bus out of town.
Where are you going?
Boston. Prepare for my vows.
So you're gonna go through with it, huh?
Mm-hmm. In fact, I was supposed to leave yesterday, but I had to finish some stuff up at the university. But that's done. Come on, Patrick, seriously. I wish there was something I could do for you. Do you want to get something off your chest?
She was running away.
I'm sorry?
The very night that Dylan collapsed. Margaret was leaving him. Start a new life with me.
Oh, Nora. How did Sheila and I get to this place, huh? Like, I knew we had problems, but I thought we could work them out. I don't know why. I mean, not with my track record. As a husband, what am I? 0 for 2? And as a father, boy, I've done a great job. My daughter's out doing drugs and hanging out in the streets with pimps.
Well, oh, that's all your fault? I had nothing to do with it, even though she's my daughter, too? Come on. Rachel is her own person with her own set of problems. And as far as you and Sheila goes, you can fix that if you want to. You just go over there and you tell her you're sorry, and then you prove it to her. Why don't you just take Sheila away from here for a while? That's what you should do. You should just sweep Sheila up and take her off to some faraway island where the two of you can really get some R&R, just by yourselves. Oh, come on. You deserve it. Lord knows you do. And you certainly need it.
All right. And what about my caseload? What about Rachel?
I'll call you if I hear anything about Rachel. And as far as your caseload goes, you're always going to have a heavy caseload. And you keep using that excuse, and you really will let Sheila get away.
Oh, Nora. You're right.
Of course I am.
You're always right.
Of course I am.
And it's really irritating. But you know what? What the heck? I'm going to go over to the hospital, and maybe I can turn this around.
You do that. And in the meantime, maybe Drew will call, and I'll have some more news on Rachel.
Thanks, Nora.
Eat something. Did you have breakfast? Ring.
And this is a bunny doing the pachanga. And the tango? Oh, no, that's something else. Sorry. Look at what she wiggles his ears,
was 3
his
ears.
nose.
Oh, man.
Look at the meat. Sit there, look at that.
So, what did Dr. Robbins say? And when am I going to get the feeling back in my legs?
Well, it's pretty much like I said. It's spinal shock. Your spinal cord was not severed during the injury, which means that the paralysis may be definitely reversible. And that's the main thing, and that is the most important thing right now. But in the meantime, the swelling around your spinal cord has got to go down, and I know it's hard because it's going to take a while, but you have to be patient.
It's going to be tough. He's a mountain man. Hard to keep him down.
Hey, Andy, oh my gosh, you bought flowers yesterday.
I wish I could afford to buy a bouquet this nice. This was at the nurse's station. I'm just the delivery girl.
Oh. Read it then. My thoughts are with you and Marty through this terrible ordeal. Get well soon. Blair. Wow, you have more fans than you know.
Or maybe want.
Listen, I think we've worn this big guy out. What do you say we give him a rest, huh?
Yeah, sorry I'm not better company.
Hey, you've been just wonderful. And I will be back real soon, okay? Hey, do you two mind hanging out for just a couple minutes? I really feel like I need just to go sit in that chapel for a while.
No problem. We'll wait right here.
Just yes or no?
Are you holding up okay?
Yeah, sure. It's hard, but, you know, gotta do it for Dylan. Anyway, please come get me if you need me.
What's up?
What do you mean?
I mean, everybody's upset about Dylan, but you got something else going on here. What, are you having another problem with Antonio?
I'm leaving him. And it hurts so bad, I don't know what to do.
guess I don't need to ask if things are going better between you and Andy.
It's okay with you. I'd rather not talk about it.
No. Keep it inside. Let it fester. That's what a man has to do, right?
All right, I guess I am confused. Now, you can't be with Marty because...
Because of Dylan. She had a terrible accident and a very serious operation. He needs her right now, and Margaret knows that.
Well, she did say she was going to love him in sickness and in health, and obviously now you're honoring the sickness part, but when he's recovered, you're going to betray him? Patrick, why don't you just kick him now while he's down and get it over with?
Do we sound that selfish? I guess we do, don't we? Maggie, Margaret's made a mistake. She should never have married him. And God knows she doesn't want to hurt anybody, but wouldn't it hurt him even more to spend the rest of his life with a woman that doesn't love him?
Well, I hate to play devil's advocate, but how do you know that she loves you?
Well, I wasn't sure at first. I thought it was all a dream, you know. When we were lost on that island, she told me. She told me that she loved me from the first moment she saw me. She never stopped. I don't know, everything just suddenly made sense. I knew that I wasn't dreaming anymore. Of course, there was one bad moment when I was waiting for her on the mountaintop and she didn't come. But that was the same night that Dylan had that terrible accident. She couldn't leave him. I could kick myself for ever doubting her.
Well, she certainly kept you on a roller coaster ride. She loves you, she doesn't love you.
Her feelings never changed, Maggie. She's just afraid of them, that's all.
Well, maybe she should have been afraid, Patrick, given the tangle you've ended up in.
Can't deny how you feel, Maggie.
No, I guess you can't, but you can't control what you do.
I just can't believe that there's nothing that you can do to make things better between you and Andy.
What's the point? I tried, right? She just doesn't understand me.
Or maybe she does. And you, my big man, you don't really want her to understand you that well. Because if she does, then she can hurt you.
I'm scared. I appreciate the fact that you care, all right? But I'm not the bad guy here. So why are you taking Andy's side?
Have you ever thought about what your life was like before Andy was in it? It's been so much better. And what your future could be?
You don't think I want to hold on to that? But I would have to.
What?
I would have to do what I should have done a long time ago. That's the only thing that's going to make things better between me and Andy. Could you handle the breakfast crowd?
Believe it or not, for one day I can handle it without you just fine.
¿Cómo está usted, señor Vega?
Excuse me? But are you Latino? Or don't you think I understand English?
I was trying to show my respect for your heritage.
Respect? Now, that's what a friend would do. And like I told you before, you're no friend of mine. Maybe it's you that doesn't understand English. So let me spell it out for you slowly. When I told you I wasn't going to do any more jobs for you, any more favors, it meant just that. No more favors. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. I don't work for you, and that's final.
May I be frank in return? Your lack of ambition saddens me. I even find it confusing, given the fact that you and I formed a bond the very first moment you accepted my help.
I paid you back. We're even now. You're not going to worm your way deeper into my life.
Who says that I want to? Oh, the charming Detective Harrison. Is she the one holding you back with a limited vision as to the great man that you could be? Let her love you, Antonio. But don't let her draw the map of your life.
I don't think you're listening to me. You're out of my life. You call me, I hang up. You send a message, I throw it in the garbage. Clear enough.
I admire you. But I wonder if I've given you too much leeway. Do you think you can push me, Antonio? I suggest you think again.
Is that a threat?
I don't know how to get through to him. You know, I tried to tell myself that things were getting better for a while, but they're just not. He takes off, and I don't know what he's doing or who he's doing it with.
Well, where do you think he's going?
Playing dominoes at Angel Square, for all I know.
Andy, I'm sorry. I know how much you love him.
Even though he drives me crazy.
Kind of funny, isn't it? How someone can be so right and so wrong for you all at the same time. They know they want you, but they keep you just out of reach.
Well, are we talking about Antonio, or are we talking about a certain lady named Maggie?
I never said I loved her, no. No, I just think someone made a big mistake when they put the soul of a nun in the body of a sex kitten. There's nothing I can do about it, just like there's nothing you can do to change Antonio, is there? I reckon we're just gonna have to learn to deal with it until we find somebody else.
Patrick. Do I have lipstick on my teeth or something?
What? Oh, God, I'm sorry. I was staring, wasn't I? I apologize. You just seem to be at peace, and I envy that.
Appearances can be deceiving.
Maybe. But the truth is, Maggie, you do have your faith to steady you. All I have are questions about why your God would hand me the love of my life and the promise of joy and then snatch it away from me. Do you think that's his idea of a joke, maybe? And if it is, do I want to believe in a God with a wicked sense of humor?
Patrick, faith isn't something you can bargain with. I mean, you can't say to God, look, I'll believe in you if you give me what I want. Some of us have tried that already. It doesn't work. He's not Santa Claus.
Mm-hmm. Nor am I a child, Maggie. I'm not asking for a miracle here. I'm just asking your God to admit what I already knew, that Margaret and I are kindred souls. We're meant to be together. You see, that's my faith. That's my belief. That somehow, some way, we'll find a path back to each other.
Dear God, this is really hard for me because right now I don't feel very close to you or your love. I've been selfish, and I've hurt the people that I love, and I've even broken my wedding vows. And I know I don't have the right to ask you for anything. But please don't make my husband pay for all the hateful things I've done. Punish me. I'm begging you, but don't punish me by hurting Dylan.
The grieving wife. How touching. So tell me, Mrs. Moody, are you praying that your husband will get well or that he won't?
Are you? You actually think I'd get down on my knees and pray to God that my husband wouldn't recover, that he'd remain a cripple for the rest of his life?
Well, wouldn't you? That way you'd have the perfect excuse not to leave him, not in his hour of need. And you can continue to do exactly what you have been doing for months, Marty. Keeping Patrick dangling.
You're disgusting.
He loves you so much, but he is so clueless. He thinks if he waits long enough that you're gonna run to his side and you guys can ride off into the sunset. But that's not gonna happen, is it, Marty? Because you like playing Marty the martyr much too much. The woman who sacrificed true love to stay by the side of her lawfully wedded and dreadfully boring husband.
You enjoy hurting people, don't you?
And while everyone gets to see you be noble, you can continue to ruin 2 lives. You can break Patrick's heart and put Dylan through the hell of a loveless marriage. The only problem is, although you are excellent in the role of the long-suffering wife, is that I know you're only acting. Because I know exactly what you and Patrick have been up to. And I mean everything.
What do you mean you and I aren't the same? My love life is such a disaster they're thinking of calling in the National Guard.
At least you and Maggie ended up friends.
Oh, great. Just what I need in my life. Another buddy.
Well, see, that's the thing. Antonio and I weren't just buddies. We were best friends. And it's going to be really hard to give that up.
Well, maybe if you just let a little time pass.
No, I think it's got to be a clean break. Well, he's probably down at the diner working, so I think I'll go back and finish packing up my things.
Well, listen, you do what you have to do. I'll hold down the fort.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Hi. What's the news on Dylan?
Oh, well, pretty much same.
Yeah.
Still paralyzed, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, they're waiting to see what happens when the swelling around his spinal cord goes down.
Oh, boy, what a mess. Well, listen, I was just wondering if by any chance is Sheila with him?
Well, Dylan's sleeping, and wouldn't Sheila be in her room? Or what was were they discharging her today?
Yeah, well, her OBGYN was supposed to examine her today, and if everything was okay, then I would take her home, but she's not in her room.
Oh, Mr. Gannon, I'm sorry I was away from my desk when you came in, but your wife said to give you this.
Thank you. Excuse me.
Hank? Is everything okay?
Well, it seems that Sheila's checked out.
What?
Listen, you folks will have to excuse me.
Oh.
Boy, that doesn't sound good, does it?
Seems like it's just one of those days. For everybody.
You're a bright young man, Antonio. So why would I need to threaten you? I would hope you would understand that with actions there are consequences. So a word to the wise.
What am I doing standing here listening to a scum like you?
Don't push.
You don't like it? Good, because neither do I. So get the message straight this time, Mr. Hesser. I'm never going to be a part of your organization. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Javier. Good news, mi amigo. I've got a job for you.
But there's one thing that, I'm not quite clear about, Marty. Just what exactly were you and Patrick going? I mean, after you dumped your husband.
Does it ever get to you? What a truly filthy imagination you have.
Imagination. See, I don't think that I was imagining Patrick standing up on top of Lantano Mountain the other night waiting for you, no. Actually, I tried to tell him in the most gentle way that I could that he was just wasting his time, Marty. But he just couldn't believe that you wouldn't show. Do you have any idea what kind of hell that you put that man through, huh? Or is that exactly what you wanted?
You don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Marty. Dylan's awake and he's asking for you.
Great, thanks, Max.
Well, listen, I don't know about you, but I'm kind of tired of the mystery meatloaf in the cafeteria, so how about I head over to the diner and pick us up some decent food? I'd love to escort you to your car, Blair.
Time?
Yep, afraid so.
There you go.
Thank you. Mrs. Vega, could I get a cafe con leche to go, please?
Sure.
And you better make it a double. She's got a long trip ahead of her.
Oh, then I better get her something to nibble on, too.
Sounds good. Okay, Patty, me boy, this is it.
I hope everything works out for you.
Which is not the same as wishing me best of luck with all my heart's desires, is it?
You know I want you to be happy. I just don't think that coveting another man's wife or putting her life on hold until she's free is gonna bring you anything but sorrow.
I wish I were certain that what I was doing was right or wrong. It's another thing I envy you for. Because once you take your final vows, you live in a community where things are a lot more clear-cut. They're not as messy as in the outside world.
You know, when I was younger, I used to think that all I had to do was believe in myself, but it doesn't work. I made a mess of my life. Now I need something more, something bigger to believe in.
I wish I knew you better. And I hope you find what you're looking for.
Well, even if you don't know me that well, will you promise to come and visit me?
How do you think they'll open the gates for a sacrilegious Irish poet?
A troubled soul like you, they're gonna want to save you.
First, I gotta save myself, right? Isn't that what you're telling me?
Yeah. Okay, Jill. I'll get the file for you. If you can hang on 1 second. I'm gonna go upstairs. I'll be right back down.
Dear Hank, as you know, I've had a very hard time dealing with the problems we've been having. I already explained I wanted a separation, so I've decided to visit Ben in London. Somehow, when you're troubled about something, being with family is the best thing. Whether our marriage is over or not, I can't say. All I know is, right now I need time to be alone. I really do hope you find Rachel, and I hope she's all right.
I certainly wasn't expecting you back so fast. What's the matter? What's wrong?
It's Sheila. She left this for me at the hospital just before she checked herself out.
Oh, no, what?
She's gone.
Just like that?
Look, Nora, I'm sorry. I know you don't need this right now, but look, I just didn't know where else to go.
I mean, maybe she just needs some time, you know, to sort things through.
Yeah, well, that's what she said in this little letter. All I know right now is I need time alone.
That's what our daughter said. And almost those exact same words.
Nora, how did we go so wrong?
Hey, Mrs. Vega, I think you didn't charge me for this.
Oh, no, that's on the house. You make sure that you have yourself a safe trip, okay?
Thank you very much.
Just remember to keep us in your prayers.
I already do.
Thanks.
Oh, hey.
I'm sorry, Max.
Gee, where have I heard that before? Well, I thought you were leaving yesterday.
Well, I was, but, I don't know, I got held up. A student turned in his final late, and I had to run some errands before I turned in my rental cars.
Oh, gee, that's great. I mean, not that you were delayed, but as long as you were, what's another day? Say, you want to have lunch with me? Or, how about dinner? One final night?
Max, we did that the other night.
Did we?
Yeah.
Well, we had fun.
It was the best date I ever had in my life.
Well?
Except it wasn't really a date. Whatever it was, I think it would just make us sad if we try to repeat it, you know? We should just, hold on to what we had.
Well, you allowed to do that? Hold on? I mean, or aren't you supposed to, like, put all this behind you, me included?
Max, you're gonna always be in my heart. You've been such a wonderful friend.
Well, gee, I guess I'll settle for that.
Don't make it sound like such a booby prize. Oh, God. I'm gonna miss my bus.
Whoa. Maggie, aren't you forgetting something?
More responsibility. Now, Javier, isn't that what you've been clamoring about?
Yes, sir.
Well, an opportunity has come up that'll fit you like a tight leather glove. Your old friend, Antonio Vega, he's been getting a little cocky. Oh, although I do admire his intestinal fortitude, I think he should learn a little humility. Now, do you think you could teach him, Javier?
Don't go.
I have to. Please don't make this more difficult.
Andy, I'm telling you, it's over. I swear. Look, I told Carlo I would never work for him again. He won't even be calling here anymore.
You resigned before, Antonio, remember? But for some reason, you keep going back. That's what I can't take anymore. That's the bottom line. You keep making these promises, but when it comes to Carlo Asser, you just can't keep them.
Look, I'm telling you, it'll never happen again.
How can I believe that? You've hidden so much from me, and then you've lied about it. And then when you tell me the truth, I feel like I have to double-check everything. That's the position you put me in. And it's not good for either one of us.
You think this has been easy for me? Going out with a cop? It's people like you that put me away for 6 years. You know, when I first met you, I didn't think I would ever be able to trust you. But I got to know you better. Maybe there's a way around this.
Around our problems? I thought so too, but looks like we were wrong.
Excuse me. Could you tell me if there's any new information on one of your patients, Mr. Dylan Moody?
Are you a relative?
Friend of the family.
I'm afraid all I can tell you is that he's in serious but stable condition.
How about you? Do you know anything?
Nothing definite.
I thought the Sun had spies everywhere.
Let's call them contacts, shall we?
Yeah. Well, then your contact must have told you something.
Well, they told me that Dylan has a bone chip lodged in his spinal column in a place that's just too dangerous to remove it.
What does it mean?
Well, it means that Dylan's paralysis may be permanent. I'm sorry, Patrick.
You're sorry for me.
No, I'm sorry that... Because I know that you've been holding on to your dream that Marty would come to you, but now that Dylan may not recover, he is going to need her more than ever. And she may never come to you, and I'm sorry.
Hi. Max said that you wanted to see me. How you feeling?
Concerned, because it's all coming back to me.
What is?
Well, I guess with all these drugs they've got me on, I've been pretty much out of it, but, you know, now that they're starting to wear off, I'm starting to remember.
What?
What we were talking about before I collapsed.
Dylan,
Marty, weren't you about to tell me that you've decided to be with Patrick.